Hello, this is Bharath again, welcoming you all to another episode of Cricket Chat on the eve of the India-South Africa crucial third ODI to be played in Vizag. So, what is on today's menu in Cricket Chat? Well, I'm going to talk about the main talking points from India's perspective, Ryan Duskata's press conference ahead of the game, pre-match press conference, as well as certain points like the toss factor that could come into picture. First of all, I obviously have to touch about the toss factor. See, both teams obviously will hope to win the toss. We have seen the dew coming into play in the first game. We saw that again in the second game. And in these conditions, you again expect a dew. So what has basically happened here in Vizag is, even yesterday as well as today, the weather is very pleasant in the morning, quite cool. Then somewhere around 9, 10, maybe especially 10 a.m., it gets quite hot and humid. And then somewhere around 5:30, it again gets very pleasant, cools down, and that is when you expect the dew to come into play, into the equation. Actually, it gets dark quite early here at this point of time, maybe even around 5:45, 6 p.m. So looking at that, logic says toss will be again crucial, and you expect the dew to come into play, maybe by some divine intervention or some black magic, you won't see dew taking full effect. Hopefully, from India's point of view, looking at how many tosses they're losing, it will be the case. So let's look at the pitch conditions as well. See, it seemed like an archetypal pitch in Vizag. It was actually under covers until about 3:45 p.m., 4 p.m., and that is when the curator took off the covers, and one couldn't even see a blade of grass. Maybe, just maybe, for a few overs in the first innings, it will be a tad slower, where the ball will not come onto the bat. It actually happened in the second game as well in Raipur. But thankfully, Virat Kohli showed his expertise, his wisdom of experience to help India negotiate that small phase. Even Ruturaj Gaikwad played really well, formed the strike, rotated the strike. So we expect in Vizag as well, maybe for a few overs, the pitch will be on the slower side. And then for the dew to come into play and for it to ball to skid on the surface. So that is about the pitch conditions. And then let us look at the main talking points from India's perspective. Obviously, first let us think about Washington Sundar. Seeing the pre-match pressure, Ryan Duskata kind of defended him by saying that he has had a good 12 months. Point two, he also talked about how he is trying to ameliorate his standards as far as his batting is concerned. Steve, Washington Sundar has been slotted in at 5, 6, 7, 8 in the recent T20Is against Australia and in the ongoing ODI series versus South Africa. Somewhere it doesn't seem to suit him. I'm not very sure those positions are tailor-made to his style of batting. Maybe he still has to improve on his range of stroke. Maybe it's a case of him trying to form the strike. Actually, on the eve of the game yesterday, he was trying to practice a few of those things, looking to maybe play with soft hands, and he was also eyeing a few strokes like the cut stroke. So that tells you maybe Washington Sundar will finally come good. But if you ask me, I don't think he's suited to batting in those positions. But looks like the Indian think tank will continue to play him in those slots. I just want to add one more point here. In the pre-match pressure, Duskata also talked about how he's trying to improve his batting when it comes to the kind of defensive fields that you see in limited overs cricket. So the second one, obviously, is about, I guess you would know, it's about Prasidh Krishna. See, for some reason, his name has been linked up with me as though I'm someone who always tries to praise him. But in truth, I just looked at his potential. He seemed to have some potential about 10 years ago when Bangladesh took on Karnataka 11 in a first-class game. Coming back to Prasidh and his skills, he has the required tools. He bowls a hard length. He's someone who snaps his back and bowls that heavy ball. That's obviously hard length. Then he bowls with a good burst of pace, around 140 kilometers per hour on occasions, even touching 90 miles per hour. But he does have problems. See, one of the problems one could observe in this ongoing series is that he goes on an all-out attack approach. Sometimes it doesn't really work in limited overs cricket. The simple reason for that is, uh, the fields are very much spread, and in limited overs cricket, even in ODI cricket, the batters are trying to land a lot more shots. They're trying to take a lot more risk, and the pitches are also most likely flat. So if you do this, then you could end up bowling one down the leg side. Maybe while trying a Yorker, you might end up bowling a few full tosses. While trying a short ball, you might get your direction wrong. That's what exactly happened with Prasid in the last game. He would bowl a couple of good deliveries and follow it up with one down the leg side, a short delivery down the leg side, or a full toss. And as expected, it was duly deposited to the boundary hoardings. There is another point to look at with Prasid, and that is when it tries the slow one, the loopy slower one, it comes out fine. But when it tries this back of length into the pitch, slower ones, is not at the level of, say, Harshit Rana. So that is a skill perhaps he needs to improve or needs to upskill that part of his game. So that is about Prasid. Then there is one more talking point that is about Jaiswal's form. See, as I noted in the other video, he practiced the cut stroke, he practiced the pull stroke, and he looked in fine touch. But I think there is another point to add about Jaiswal. That is sometimes maybe is trying to play ODI cricket like T20 cricket. See, the difference between T20 cricket and ODI cricket is in ODIs, you get to play 300 deliveries. So you have to play for a far more deliveries than what you get to see in T20 cricket. The second point is, compared to Test cricket, the fields are very much defensive. So if you try to play too many shots, you might get caught in the deep or somewhere, deep cover, deep backward square leg, or wherever it is, or deep, or for the matter, fine leg. So that is, I think, that is the simple thing that's happening with Jaiswal. It's not able to understand the tempo of ODI cricket. Maybe it's a case of not playing enough ODIs or low list A cricket. See, Jaiswal has not played enough of list A cricket either. That's a point that has gone against the England young boys as well, because they don't play enough of list A cricket back home due to the 100. I think something similar is happening to Jaiswal as well. I'm pretty sure a quality player like him will adjust to the tempo of ODI cricket soon and be back among the runs. So that is about Jaiswal. Let us also touch upon Gautam Gambhir and his coaching and the rest of the coaching staff. See, as you know, India went on to lose the test series in South Africa in home conditions. They were whitewashed there. They were also whitewashed by New Zealand in home conditions about 12 months ago. Although it has to be noted that under Gambhir, India have been doing well in the white ball formats, but this is just a case of spillover. So if in case India going to lose this ODI series as well, then I think Gambhir will come under scrutiny because it carries forward from the test series loss. And press, as well as media, as well as fans, as well as experts, will definitely be criticizing him. So it's crucial from Gambhir's point of view. It is crucial from the rest of the coaching staff as well. It's something that even Ken Doskata mentioned in the presser, where he said that they're slightly under pressure and they will hope to or look to win this series. See, losing even a test series as well as ODI series in home conditions back to back would definitely put pressure on any coach. So that is about Gautam Gambhir. So what are India's chances in this game? What could be the outcome of this game? I just hope that India will win the toss, and then secondly, India will put across the perfect game. Yes, they almost put across a perfect game with a bat in hand in the second ODI, just that maybe they couldn't get the finishing touches right. So I hope that they get everything right in this Vizag ODI and come out on top. And again, maybe through some divine intervention, they will win the toss. Thank you for taking your time out. Keep subscribing to our YouTube channel, Revsportz YouTube channel. We cover not just cricket, other sports as well. Thank you again.